This section is all about position, so let's discuss it with what I like to call the blackjack analogy. For small ball to work best, position is extremely important. That's why ideally you want to play every pot you can heads up against the big blind. When your opponent has to act first, you have all the power to control the pot size, and you can do it at little risk. If the player out of position wants to manipulate the pot size, he has to risk more chips and do a lot more guesswork. To best illustrate the power of positional play in No Limit Hold'em, let's look at how a game like blackjack works. In blackjack, the dealer always gets to wait and see how you do before even deciding what they'll have to do. For example, if you have 15 and catch a 9, dealer wins. Dealer didn't even have to do anything, and his hand is totally irrelevant. As the player, you have no idea what the dealer actually has until you've already made your decision. For example, the book tells you that you should hit on 16 if the dealer has a face card. However, what if you knew that the dealer had a 6 in the hole? Well, according to the rules, if you stand on 16, the dealer has to hit on 16. You'd now be a statistical favorite since you'd win if the dealer catches a bad card and busts. And you will only lose if the dealer catches an ace, deuce, 3, 4, or 5. That would make you an 8-5 favorite to win the hand. So, how exactly does all that apply to position at the poker table? Let's look at an example. You raise 2.5 times the blind with 6-7 from the button, and the big blind defends with 6-7. The flop comes ace, king, 9. Since you're in position and we're the pre-flop raiser, the player in the big blind will likely check to you. Now, you go ahead and bet about 60% of the pot, and your opponent will likely throw his hand away. Of course, he may try to make a wild play at you, but that won't happen often enough to make your play lose money in the long run. Remember, sometimes you'll actually have a hand too. While player A could win the pot by check-raising the flop, he may also be able to win the pot by simply leading out and betting the flop himself. In this case, you just fold your hand. In a later section, I'll explain to you how even this defense against small ball is exploitable. When you're playing No Limit Hold'em in position against one opponent, it is akin to being the dealer in a one-on-one game of blackjack. The advantage lies in the fact that you get information from your opponents without them knowing the strength of your hand or even what you will do.